So I guess we'll play this deck once the cards get delivered.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
That was a long time ago when that was.
It's the same in other games nowadays. Still,
Is it like you can't name your account like Timo or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how it is. And there's also like some websites, I looked into it once, that just sells like 100 accounts with like unique names, and they just get money for that.
Really? That's so funny.
Like, the crazy micro sub market.
That's really funny, actually. But
yeah. Wow, 225 ticks for a Jace. That's a lot.
I remember that as well.
That card is not even good anymore.
I started grinding MTGO a few years before that.
Oh, I
would say,
yeah,
I would say my peak MTGO years were probably 2007 to 2010.
Wow, I didn't play MTGO at all at that time. I started fairly late with MTGO, even though I was playing Paper for years already.
I remember when Port was the most expensive card in MTGO, and whoever had them, like me, meant you were just a super baller, or you hated money, or both.
Yeah. I don't know what else there was that was really expensive.
I think one of my accounts still is an OSIP, but maybe not anymore. So there used to be a clan name called OSIP Drives Kids to School or something like that.
What? What are these OSIP jokes?
Well, you know who OSIP is, obviously.
Yeah, I do.
I think none of my accounts are left in that clan anymore.
Still better than OSIP.
I'm trying to look. None of these people play. Look at all these packs on 48,438, but none of these people play anymore.
Crazy. It's history, kind of.
Alright, I'm waiting for the cards, but we should be good in a sec. I guess I'll update the cardboard live. Kind of sad that we didn't get to play the whole Preacher deck, but that was my fault.
No worries. We also ran particularly bad with the with the snow deck. It was not to be expected, IMO.
Alright, yeah, so we have cards. We did, but I mean, there are vulnerabilities in that deck. It's not like the deck actually is like 95% versus everything, right?
True.
Alright, chat. Let's start a prediction.
Oh,
will I win this next match?
Oh, predictions. Okay.
Alright, you have 2 minutes to gamble your channel points because people seem to love doing that for whatever reason.
People love gambling.
It's true, people do love gambling.
There also was, at some point, True Name Nemesis was really expensive for some reason.
Remember that. Because it only had one printing and it was the original Commander deck. So you were in the hard lock, essentially.
Infernal Tutor also used to be one of those cards, but I don't know how expensive it really got.
Gamers like gambling seems fake. Oh my god.
That's like...
I think it's a ship.
Yeah, it's a ship. It's too close. It's too close.
Alright, this is the same hand but better. I think I'm supposed to ship a bolt, actually.
One bolt, yeah.
Probably just keep both.
Yeah, keep threads. It's fine. Into Doom. Jaws of the Void. Okay, fine.
When you say fine, you don't actually mean fine.
No,
you mean fine, we're going to do something to it.
I mean, when I say fine, I mean Daze. But... So, what could happen next turn? Like
I know, I'm thinking.
Could they be the Urza deck, or are they like something else? Like,
it's too hard to tell. That's the problem, right?
You could also, yeah. I mean, the main question is: do we preordain or do we not preordain? Right?
I think I'm going to preordain.
Really?
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, but I kind of just want to get cards in their yard for the Mandrills as well.
We were able.
Okay, nice.
I guess it doesn't matter now. It really doesn't matter now, but we were able to cast it next turn anyway if we just fetch and cast it for 2, right? Also, they're that deck. Well, okay. Yeah, I think you just Preordain Mandrills, probably.
Yep.
Keep
both, yeah. This is not the optimal start versus deck, obviously, but...
It's not, but we can find a Wasteland later, maybe.
Wasteland's really good versus deck, but we found 0 Wasteland so far, so...
So this is a TKS. I think you got a Force that, right?
So, is it crazy to just pitch the second Force? Kind of. My top card's a blue card, right?
Not really, actually, because aren't we priced into pondering anyway?
Yeah.
Or would you draw the ponder and try to find another blue card? I don't know. It's kind of,
I think I have to force pitching Force, actually.
Yeah, I think so too, because you kind of wanna find Wasteland next turn anyway.
Yep.
Or like, I don't know what else, a Delver or something. So, well, I guess with those cards we would want to have the other Force, but.
I think the second Oko is kind of bad, but I might want to draw it just in case if I get Thought Knotted on their turn.
Yeah.
This, like, Ponder kind of sucks. I'm wondering if I'm actually supposed to shuffle.
You could also shuffle, yeah.
I think I'm actually supposed to shuffle. I think it's probably not good enough. Do I Brainstorm?
You just fire that off to hit a Wasteland, maybe? Okay, no Wasteland, but we got... Wait, they got 14, 10, Tomb. If they Tomb once for, like, something irrelevant...
So, okay, I think you can abstractly say that Ponder is good, but do you think it's good enough to beat this? I don't think so. That's why I shuffled.
Why was the Ponder good? I actually don't get why.
Yeah, I don't...
No, I actually don't agree with the Ponder being, like, abstractly good even. I think, like, it's just a redundant copy of Oko, and then... I mean, you have Brainstorm, true, but you're not gonna be able to Brainstorm the same turn. Right?
Right. I think this is fine.
Well, probably. I mean, you can still Elk it next turn and then bolt it or something.
Question is, do I even want to draw the bolt? I guess is the real question.
I don't know. I'm just saying that's if you're scared of mana. Are we scared?
I'm actually gonna keep both the bolts and try to cheese them, I think.
Oh, you try to... Oh, okay.
Because they're at 10.
Yeah, you basically destroyed 4 mana right now, yeah. Like, they are not really in 4, but if they... Yeah, you know. I'm not gonna spell it out, but... Okay. What's that? Okay, good. Oh.
The bolt's on top.
Actually kind of annoying.
So I think I'm gonna bolt them and then just shuffle away my other bolt.
You have to fetch because they could fetch and fail to find.
Yep.
So yeah, this is kind of annoying. I mean, so like keeping the Ponder doesn't win against what they have here, right?
Yeah, but we didn't know that at the time. My deduction was
I just feel like that their deck is
exactly
more powerful stuff than Oko.
But now any bolt's lethal, so we put ourselves in a decent spot, I think. Not like an insane spot.
They will just kill Mandrills and then give us another turn, right?
I think that's what's supposed to happen.
And then next turn we go down to 3, but we might be able to, like, I don't know, like, in some way...
So if I draw a fetch, it's actually kind of good for me, right?
Maybe you should have fetched on the 4-second drop, but that's like super hindsight right now. You know,
oh, sure. Sure,
because we might draw like a Wasteland and then play 2 green spells because we had already 1 green spell in our hand. 1 green spell in our hand. Okay.
That's good.
Well, that's kind of good because, yeah.
So what this also means is I can force an All's Dust.
I think we are actually favored to win here.
I think so too, but obviously anything.
Both tombs, so they have 4, 5 mana, 7 for Eldrazi's, but we can Force of Negation All's Dust. We just need to get to attack with the Arcanist. So
kind of an insane game. I think the Ponder was the key turn of the game, right?
I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, actually. Yeah, maybe.
Well, the Ponder was key, and
was to keep the bolts and do this cheese line.
I don't like going long versus deck because this shit always happens.
I was thinking about it too, but then at some I didn't entirely expect them to. Oh, okay.
I mean, it's not about being right or wrong. It's just you have to envision. I was trying to make a plan at the time.
Yeah, I saw that.
But I think this worked out a lot better than the other plan would have worked out.
Yeah, I don't think Hoka would have killed them or something.
Oh, right. I didn't actually fix that, but I did have a main deck Pyroblast.
I think it's fine. It's good when people are playing Hull Breachers in courts.
I think that's totally fine. Deck is not set up very well for this matchup, but that's okay.
Doesn't matter. I think you bring the returns, you side out, I don't actually know what, maybe a Chain Lightning or something.
Kind of like all of the burn spells where some just try to shave the game down.
Yeah, but what else are you gonna cut? Like Preordain, or I don't know.
Yeah, what's up, Volrath? Earlier I was trying to play Hull Breacher, but I did not borrow them from a friend when I should have. I think we're gonna shave a chain and 1 Preordain. And we went 0-3 with Zenith Snow with Court, but now we just killed someone after we got Emrakul with the Promised End, so that was pretty sweet. That's kind of crazy that happened, right?
True. Yeah.
Right.
Yesterday we lost against Emrakul, or you lost, and now we won.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I could have played, I think, a lot of those games a lot better, so...
Yesterday was great to watch.
Can I double Masters draft yet? I mean, I don't think double Masters is on TGO. Oh, Commander Legends? I have literally no interest in doing it. No, it's back! Chat! It's back!
It's a tragedy. It's an actual odyssey.
Chase, the court was super insane in the 1 snow mirror we played, or the control mirror we played, sort of.
One of our opponents milled our arrow, but then they also killed us with they milled us.
But keep in mind, Chase's Yorion, so they get a few extra turns, right?
Oh god, Yorion. I get that.
Oko, Ponder, Fawn,
I think Court is still pretty good.
I have a Wasteland, so I think I'm supposed to keep, but...
This hand is a keep for sure.
Yeah.
It's basically a good 6, because your bolt is not doing anything for now, but...
I'm not talking trash about it. I'm just saying that I have no interest in playing that format. I'm not the target audience for that draft format, I think. Yes, Dino Cat, it is. I think if you don't want to get courted, it's definitely reasonable to do that.
Chalice incoming?
Oh, I'll just let that go.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to.
Alright, well...
I guess you just counter that, and that's pretty good for us. So the question is Daze or Oko, right? Or do you pitch Ponder?
I think I need to keep Ponder. I think I want to pitch Oko.
Yeah, I think it's Oko, right?
Yep.
I would have done it as well, but It just wasn't entirely like you just have to decide between the two lines there. Yeah, I guess you just dig for threat. It's not threat, but isn't
The Wasteland's almost as good, but the issue with this is if I never draw a threat, I'm probably gonna lose.
You also can't fetch. You can't Wasteland next turn when you keep this. So I don't know. It depends.
We'll see what they do.
I think it was too good to shuffle away.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure.
Just the value of the second Wasteland, I think, is too high that you're not allowed to shuffle that one. I think I'm actually going to waste the Klothys.
Yeah, I think you're priced into wasting, so... We draw a bold, which is not that great, but...
But we're trading time walks, essentially, and my deck has more manipulation, so hypothetically it should be decent at some point. Oh, they just had 2 Klothys manually? That would have been terrifying.
I guess good that we had the second Wasteland.
Occasionally when I played this deck in the past, when my deck has been really ill-suited, I'll side in Surgical as well.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta play for the, like, high roll. Okay, so they have... If they TKS here, we can Daze, right? Oh, it's that again. I kind of love this card. Or I guess it's normal for this deck to play this card, but...
It's not... I mean, depending on how they're constructed, it's kind of weird that they play Chalice, but...
I think you played a fetch, right?
Yep. I might insta bolt them.
You might actually insta bolt him, right? Or if they Chalice, you might respond with bold.
Yeah. It's basically the same thing. Huh. Not great.
Ooh, oh, that's actually... I mean...
Depends on what they do, but...
Just let it resolve quickly so they don't think about it. No.
Damn.
We could double bolt.
I'm going to double bolt, yeah. I think I'm priced into it.
Delays library for 1 turn, but it's worth it.
Oh!
So that was the best
worked out. That is the best draw possible, and this is why Edgar's pro Mandrills and not pro Tarmogoyf.
The monkey.
I think the matchup where Tarmogoyf is actually at its best is the mirror.
Yeah, I think Tarmogoyf is the best when you play against other Tarmogoyfs or other Mandrills.
Yep.
Or like, I don't know, Burn.
What? Come on, lame. I might have to kill that one with Return to Nature instead of doing anything else.
I agree. Because they have 5, 6... Oh, actually...
Nah,
you have to.
I think I have to. The risk is...
If they had a really expensive spell in their hand, they should have used the monolith to untap the other one now.
Exactly, but...
Okay, more Cloud Boasts.
1, 2, 3, 4,
6, 7 for this turn. Or like,
okay, they're Hellbent.
So,
they're Hellbent.
Okay, I guess.
Alright, now I guess I play the Sylvan.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to dig for counters versus their Hellbent.
No. We have Lethal next turn, right?
How?
You play the Mandrills? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's assuming nothing bad happens in one. Okay, never mind. You're right.
Library achieve too, right. Like their top deck. Like playing Mandrills is exactly only bad against Ulamog, right?
Yeah, like, it's pretty awful for but whatever.
Karn into Ensnaring Bridge is what I meant.
I think you're right. Giving them exactly one draw step instead of 2 is so much better.
Like, I don't know if that's risky or anything. I would just do that. It's like very calculated risk.
Okay, Pokemoki, if something bad happens, you have to sub.
Wow.
Right, they said guarantee.
So you want something bad to happen here right now.
Shit, nothing bad happened. I could have gotten a sub. Keck W.
Sadly, we won the match.
Sadly. I have to pay out the prediction.
You're the dealer. You're the casino.
I'm not actually the dealer because I don't take a rake.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay.
So no, so
it's like neutral, or how does it work?
Yo, Dom, what's up? This is, and nothing bad ever happened. um, yeah, because the odds were really bad. Like, all right. Well, what's another good prediction we can start? Oh, I got it. Will I play Court of Cunning in this next match? That's a better prediction.
It's pretty good.
All right. Let me type it up. Oops.
Wow. Wait, mods can't gamble?
No. Because
Wait,
they
I
can...
can't
No.
gamble?
The
I need to
reason
make
the
another
mods
account.
can't is they can pick the outcome at the end.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So they have to they are there for security, basically, or for like to ensure that the. Oh, okay. So yeah, otherwise it wouldn't work.
Okay,
at all,
Lackey, I can unmod you. If you actually want to be unmodded for that, that seems reasonable.
I will just make another account.
But you have to acquire the channel points.
Oh, that's bad. You're right. Can you transfer channel points to other?
You can't. You can't.
I have seen in one stream, like I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, you were able to like crowdsource or like like you could.
Yeah, I do have one of those. I have a community challenge to make me play Keck W lands again.
Keck W lands. Okay.
I'm memeing a little bit because there's nothing Keck W
it.
about it.
6% so far. I see. Guys, you gotta gamble for more points.
Look, since I understand how bookies work, there's nothing that bothers me about this because it essentially just points exchange hands. It's kind of random. Whereas
yeah,
Honorarg did not understand what was going on, so he was scared and confused.
He thought the points would like multiply or something.
They don't multiply. They don't just appear from thin air. It's just a redistribution of them.
I know. It's neutral. The Sylvan Library is the best Monarch card. Well, I would say it's the safest Monarch card.
Okay, Matt understands. It's not random because I control the outcome. Okay, Matt has a good counterpoint.
It's all rigged.
It's all rigged.
And if someone wins a lot of points from someone else, you can adjust your reward. I guess you gotta keep your word on the play lands again thing. But...
Dom, nothing is random because of determinism.
Wow. That's a statement.
Pokemoke? No, that's not how this works.
Oh, we got a match. Yoo-hoo.
Yep, keep.
Add keep.
Third land's not ideal, but whatever.
Yeah, it's... do you realize how this thing is between main and begin combat?
Yeah, I saw that yesterday too. It was driving me nuts. Ani loves D&T, he just doesn't want to admit it.
When I saw it first, I thought we were lagging or something. Yeah, the fourth land isn't great
is even
all,
worse, yeah.
Let's find Brainstorm.
Versus Snow Island, do I want another Fawn or Bolt?
I think I would aggressively bottom because I want to find Brainstorm or Oko or something.
How about
that's
Chain
not
Lightning?
What we want to do, but it's the price you gotta pay.
Okay.
Honor can find Brainstorm. Gonna say it again until we find it.
Okay, we found Brainstorm.
That's how it works.
I think I was supposed to actually put the Force in my hand this turn, but...
Are you?
I think so, yeah. I mean, what do you want to do?
I mean, you could draw the Brainstorm, so in case they play Show and Tell with Force backup, we can find a blue card under the Mandrills.
Okay, sure. That's a good point.
I just I was just seeing what's the worst thing that could happen next turn or something. But
smells like... I don't know what it smells like. They chose not to shuffle. They have no land drop.
So, I think fetch land, brainstorm, right?
Yep.
Okay. Definitely gotta put away the drop. Now the question is between chain and wasteland, right? Or the mandrills. Actually, I think I would keep both mandrills, but they might still be control.
I think I'm gonna pitch these two.
Oh, those two, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
What were you thinking?
I mean, wasteland can be like we don't know if they are a like combo deck with like ancient tomb and stuff like that. So I would probably keep the wasteland actually. I know that wasteland is completely useless against snow, but I think it might be better than the drop.
So you want to put one of the forces back then? Oh no, the trop.
No,
I
the
see.
drop.
Okay, never mind. This is clearly correct. Whoops.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that's better.
I was just blanking on what you were actually saying.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's
I
me
was
there.
blanking on like what your plan was with like.
My plan was I didn't realize I had another land in my hand. What is the flavor of Delve? Nothing except Sultai. The Sultai cons people do it.
Yeah.
No one actually knows what it means.
And Tombstalker. And what's that card called?
Death Rattle?
Death Rattle, yeah.
Yeah, Death Rattle? Okay. I guess you're right.
Pragmatic Sinkhole. See?
I'm gonna fawn it, actually, because they have Mystic Sanctuary sometimes.
True. Okay. Good that they didn't have Daze. I like that, because that's usually the card that blows you out in those turns.
Really? Jeez.
Yeah,
Guess I'm dead. Our hand's like pretty good, but Keck W.
Well, now the Chain Lightning would be better, but maybe we find Oko.
Yeah, I'll just initiate. All right, nope.
Shuffle. Well.
So I think I have to chain first before I attack, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
Damn, they mulligan? Oh. Interesting. I guess I just bash them and waste them, but I mean, this is not great all around, obviously. Guess everyone's good at stealing the Monarch. Man, Dom is such a troll. This was a sad game.
Yeah, we kind of were. Did we like? Could we like do anything different? I don't think so. Like we couldn't gain any more blue cards, right?
Nope.
Like we could like keep the first Force of Negation, but then we would have found like Brainstorm later and stuff like that. So it kind of equals out.
Okay, so what the hope is I draw a bolt. That's not... I mean, I think I'm probably dead now, but we'll see what they do.
Well, they are... If they take this, then they are priced into winning next turn, right? Or into, like they could, like... No, they're priced into winning. They need to win now.
Hull Breacher is being bought for 22 tickets, Skeptimus, but I suspect it's on an upward trend for a few days. Maybe they just don't have anything in 15 cards. Yo, they had something.
We would have liked that to happen, but...
We were really close for...
Yeah, we were kind of close for
whatever this game was.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm gonna blame you for that one time you played Booger and Omnitel for this. Yeah, darn, they had something in 15 cards. What's the prediction if I cast Court of Cunning in this matchup? It was. It seems really unlikely I'm going to do that.
Seems unlikely we're gonna board it in. But actually, I don't know. Do we have anything that's worse? I don't think so.
Who's favored in this matchup? I think it depends a lot on how both decks are built.
We are like stock versus stock. We are favored, but there are lists that are harder to.
Also, we weren't stock. We could have drawn that Pyroblast in game 1.
True.
But we didn't.
So how do we? Yeah.
I sometimes like Vapor Snag, but it's not really great.
I sometimes like Return to Nature because of Carpet, but I'm not sure if people are running Carpet. I don't know. It's close. Return to Nature also works against Mystic Sanctuary, I guess, but it's kind of not very efficient. But
I think it's better than all of the bolts, so
it's probably better than the bolts, yeah. And Oko can win against Emrakul or something.
Yep. I always boarded one to give people hope. Nope. Sorry. You this is what you signed up for.
Could have no, I think that's fine sideboarding. I like that actually.
No! Why? Why, God? Why?
I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick. I'm gonna be back in a minute.
P-Zephyr, I cannot gamble in predictions I start. They really outdid themselves. Like, this is why I almost timed out in that snow match, really. Like, this is just infuriating. Imagine not having gambling odds. SMH. That would take way too much intellectual. Whatever. Small indie company indeed. I don't know. I really love Magic. It's just the client doing this shit really infuriates me. It is what it is, right? Definitely dazing that.
I'm back.
Well,
what happened? Why are we counter warring turn 2?
Because I played a Sylvan, they forced it. I figure if they're forcing
we just
it,
dazed. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
If we only have to daze, it's great.
Yeah. That's why I did that.
We just blindly draw 3 here, probably. I believe so, at least. Yeah, I would probably upkeep waste time or something, but like, you know, like formality. It's a formality. It's only a formality. But
I think I'm going to end up Brainstorm, actually.
Think you want to, yeah. Just to cycle through. Just to you basically play Lonely Sandbar this way, but that's fine.
No! Can I have that waste back? Oh no, that's a disaster.
I gotta be honest, I didn't think about it. Totally didn't think about it. There is a way, I think, to beat them after Boseiju.
Yeah,
maybe.
Only if they have Omni, though, right?
Yeah, if they have Omni. Because we have Blast.
Right.
Do we need Return to Nature at all anymore?
I don't think so.
So, and we can't draw 4/8 life again because they have the Koala, so...
Right.
What are we gonna do exactly? Oh, so many Brainstorms.
Do I just say go? Or do I play the
Yeah, I
Arcanist?
think that's what I wanted to do as
Yeah.
well. I think you can't play the Arcanist,
It's
which
really
is very
risky.
sad.
Yeah.
But
Wish I had that Wasteland back, but there's a reasonable chance I'm just Woo Dobbs.
I think, do we have anything that produces a trigger
There we
in our
don't.
deck?
No.
We don't. Like no card at all.
Right.
Really? Okay. So well done. You gotta let it resolve. We can find Oko, I guess.
Yep.
That's our best bet.
So I'm supposed to brainstorm and stuff.
Yeah,
then, I think.
you have a second brainstorm anyway because of the Arcanist, right? And I think you might even want to blast the Qual.
I think so too. Yeah.
Because that way you can draw for more.
The court's not good here. Everyone
the court would be the only card that triggers.
But it wouldn't have even done anything versus this, so it's like
yeah, in this situation it doesn't do anything, but it's funny because I asked for a card that creates a trigger.
It's true, you did. Okay, that's not it.
I think you actually.
I think I pitched these two, fetch, and then just look for the.
And you just brainstorm with the Arcanist.
Yeah. That's 3 looks at a 3-outer, which is like not the best odds, but it is what it is.
I mean, I think the best odds would have been if you just paid 8, but you know it's not worth it.
Okay. Okay. What does the next turn look like?
Probably something involving the Mandrills, so we can kill them finally because they still have this Boseiju in play.
I know.
Well, maybe we want the we are gonna be able to kill it. Okay. We definitely want the Mandrills next turn because we need to have a 4/4.
Pay 8 and we lose to 3/3 elk. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, we couldn't pay 8, but it would have been like the highest odds to find whatever. But it's not
it's not just that. It's wow, they don't have anything else. If that's what's going on, that's really good for us. But
I would probably.
I don't want to pay any life. I think
I would just put buff on top.
Yep.
Make food, make Mandrills.
What a crazy game. Yep, Oko Broko has been called, but
It's the second time we are battling an Emrakul today.
We won the first time versus Emrakul, which is kind of insane if you think about it.
Yeah, you gotta force that through.
Pitching Fawn, I think.
Yeah. Daze could be handy. And redundant copies are not what we need. Oh, kind of sucks, but it's not like we lose because of that. It's just that they draw a card and we will have to go down to 2.
We're not at 2. We can just crack the food.
Yeah, but wouldn't you prefer to make a 3/3 or like
I'm not sure actually?
You could steal the Emrakul as well.
Oh, maybe that's the best line of play then.
Yeah, I'm not sure as well. Like what we exactly do. It depends on what they do. Okay, I think I would go for this. Oh, actually, the steal loses to Veil of Summer.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna crack this.
I think you might just want to crack it.
Did I know about that?
Good. No, we didn't know about it at all.
Steal Emrakul and use Oka's 4th D-Elk ability? Wow, that would be overpowered as hell.
+0 unelk a creature.
Sounds bad, man. Well, actually, it sounds good, but I don't want it to sound good, you know?
I know. There is already so much wrong with this card, so we don't need to be. You don't need to add one or two more abilities.
I think them attacking us was actually super good for them to do almost every turn. Because of the Sylvan Library.
True.
Someone's
And
having
the
a...
Quaddle also
Yeah.
changed math a little bit.
Ooh.
So I think we just go for the
Yeah.
fastest route for victory. You could steal it this turn, but then you would have to counter the Veil of Summer that they're playing. So I'm not sure if you want to do that. Just considering. Probably not.
If I attack for 7, played this, I take 3, go to 2, they're at 8, so they die.
True. So they have to block, basically, unless they don't play around the Delver. Or whatever creature. Any creature would do the same.
Yeah. If this dies as an elk, does it trigger?
I think it triggers, yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know. Let's just see.
Okay, it triggered.
Whatever. They shuffled more bad cards into their deck, I think, than good cards. So it's actually good for us. Thinking about countering this, but I don't know. If they have Veil, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna just let it go.
I don't know, man.
Are we sure MTJ has it right? No. That's why I was asking chat. They topped both? Sure. That's terrifying. Wait, they topped both and said go? I'm suspicious of this.
I'm checking Emrakul. I think the way it's worded, it should work from anywhere. Even if you remove his abilities, or their abilities, or whatever, or her ability.
How insane has Oko been this game? Kind of bonkers.
Better than Court would have been.
Alright, so am I supposed to Daze this collateral? Oh no, it doesn't even have Death Touch. Hell no. Okay.
No.
I figured it out. If it had Death Touch, maybe, but... Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Weird. Weird game. Why did they top on Preordain and then choose to die? That does not make a lot of sense.
Interesting.
Alright.
Is there anything we want to change?
Technically, they're still alive for us siding in Court of Cunning, but I'm still not going to do it.
Maybe over than Return to Nature. But Return to Nature is basically...
No, I think it's good. They probably have some BS that we want to get.
Some like carpet or like defense grid or I don't know what.
Exactly.
Huh.
Alright, yeah. Before I hit submit, if you all enjoy this stream, hit that follow button, hit that sub button. If you have a Twitch Prime sub, you really should use it, even if it's not on me. That shilling worked so well yesterday, so I figured I'd try again. Oh, Top was under the Boseiju assumption. That actually makes more sense.
Okay, according to some posts or judges from like 3 or 4 years ago, the Emrakul should not be shuffled back.
Poke, I put that stipulation or that prediction there, not under... It was implied that I would not warp my gameplay around it one or the other, so I'm not doing that, so it's not in poor taste whatsoever. I'm trying to parse what this hand is without art, and it's really hard. Okay, I think it's a keep, but I was staring at it forever.
It's probably a keep. Yeah. I think you also tap out on turn 1.
Agreed.
Shouldn't be afraid.
I'm not a coward. If they turn to me, so be it.
Yeah, I don't think they would even try to. Like, their hand must be the nuts to go for.
Did they mulligan? No, they didn't.
No. So Emrakul actually should not be shuffled back if it was an elk or if humility was on the battlefield.
Oh, so we got bugged out.
Yeah, it's a motor bug basically.
So I could technically request a refund even though it did not affect our game whatsoever, probably.
You can still request a refund if we lose because we have the crashes always.
Oh, that's a nice plug. Wait, is MTG Bot dead?
Oh.
It is! MTG Bot is dead. Huh. Weird.
RIP.
What happened to MTG Bot?
We don't show that. I think, do you actually, do you even attack? Because they could have Coatl. Anyway, I think you attack, right?
I think I do attack as well.
I'm not super sure, actually, because you could use the fetch to scry, you know, in case they have Coatl here.
Alright,
You know,
I'm fine with that, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's better.
They're basically a lock to have it here. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not pyroing that.
So we are using our scry at least. It's good. We have Wasteland.
Also means if we flip the Delver, we can. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really nice actually.
Get in there. No second Coatl? Okay, good. I mean, they could have it.
I know. I was thinking about if they double block, am I supposed to... Or...
Yeah, are you supposed to blast it after they draw or something?
I don't know what is supposed to happen there, but I don't... You know, it's like, whatever. Deal! Deal! Okay! You got it.
We don't have anything to flashback anyway, so...
Yeah, people love to do this. Like, this dilutes your engine deck, and like...
Oh, I don't think it's... I think it depends on the list. I don't think it's
I think it's pretty awful.
I think it's better against Pokepad, though. Because
for sure.
Because they have many more cards.
It's probably better versus Daniel.
Oh, it's much better against Daniel.
Alright, I am going to play 1-3. I'm not tapping out for this. I think that's just like maniacal. When we are pretty far ahead, I think.
Maniacal. Yeah, I would call it too. Wait, they are snow screwed.
They are. It's not like this isn't free, this isn't free, you know? Your last 3 to 4 show until opponent's board and graphic.
Do you cast Oko here actually?
I think I do.
Deck for 4. How much does it increase clock?
Well, it's from 4 to 6, right? So it's 3 turns, and it also cuts off a fetch.
Yeah, I guess you do it. I was just worried about some weird counter war happening, and we need the blue card in the Daze. I think you gotta let it resolve.
This is sad. Now what do I do?
I am not sure. You could just make food.
Yeah.
I don't know. So
I'm not going to attack this turn. Next turn I might end up pyroing one of them.
If we draw a cantrip, we can also elk the cage and draw a card or something.
I could also swap next turn. Yeah, that is also a good point.
True.
It's not even that bad versus a Veil if that happens, right?
Yeah, it's maybe it's not that bad actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Cage Blast both. But then my Arcanist gets eaten by the Cage rune. I don't think you really want to do that.
Yeah, I don't think you want to use Blast at all as well. Yeah, Boros Battle Shaper is really good. That's all I'm gonna say. Do you do it? I actually want you. The problem is, what's gonna happen worst case scenario? They Veil, we let the Veil resolve, they don't draw a card, but then they attack with both Koalas on the Oko. Then we probably...
I think I might just make this a 3/3 and attack with both my all my creatures.
If Oko
actually,
had more loyalty, it would be the correct play because it would fish a Veil out of their hand, which would be good.
I think I'm just going to attack them with all my creatures. And
Yeah.
I mean, I could Pyro one, but I think I'm not allowed to do that.
You're not allowed to use any of your cards in hand other than Delver and Dreadhorde Arcanist, I think.
I think I am going to play out both this turn. I don't think my bottleneck is creatures. I think my bottleneck is like actually killing them. If you attack with just food, it's identical. Like, I don't think that makes any sense. I think if you're going to attack with one creature, you should attack with all three.
Three, four. What's that? Another one?
Another collateral.
So whatever.
They were thinking about impulsing EOT and then decide to play around Daze.
It's interesting
that smells like weakness to me. Then
that
right?
Smells like they are missing a piece or something.
So should I blast this then?
It's a really good question. I
3,
have no idea.
4, 5, 6, 7 damage.
I have honestly no idea. It's kind of a judgment call. I mean, I don't like blasting it, but also
I don't like blasting it. I thought it through. What will happen is if I blast it, then they Veil, then I have to Daze the Veil.
That would be really bad.
Yeah.
Also, what if they are just searching for counter magic? Then they are more incentivized to jam next turn. I mean, they will jam next turn either way, but
yeah,
like
they also might be looking for something that's not just a creature because of the Oko. True. If that makes sense. So tempting. I don't think
you can't.
I know.
What if you draw land? I guess what if you draw lands? What if you draw like any bad card? What if you draw Wasteland? They have 7 spells in hand.
Brainstorm's good though.
Brainstorm is really good.
I think I just turned one. So it's 7 damage. You go to 4. Yeah.
Don't you want to Brainstorm first before you do anything?
Could.
Or I mean,
it's kind of hard for me to improve that much, but I guess I should.
I think you should.
I guess this technically improves me a little bit.
Yeah. It's a little bit. Yeah, now you can do whatever. Oh yeah, that's what's gonna happen when we pre-combat Brainstorm.
They have 6. They have 6. That's the only explanation. We're 2-0! Yay!
Nice. So
from 0-3 to 2-0 with different decks. That's how it be though.
Well, that 0-3 was kind of.
All of the games are close, right?
Almost a 2-1.
Yeah, that's why, like, I don't know. just tracking whether you win or lose a match without taking notes is kind of reductive in a lot of ways, right?
True. Yeah, I feel like if these crashes didn't happen, and or like we had more time to think about some plays against the land still opponent, for example, could have definitely gone either way. Also, the turn one Belcher was kind of an audacity.
Yeah, but we could have. I mean, I could have
called
sided out
it.
the Zeniths for blue cards. Multiple people brought it up, so it's.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. I
Yeah,
was
I don't
thinking
know.
about it too. I usually go up like I usually board in the most useless blue cards in those matchups. Like I board in Mind Harness and stuff like that, and Submerge, just to pitch it.
Oh, I'm getting spam texts trying to scam me. Does that happen in Austria? Do you just get like spam texts saying like your car is broken, you need to get new insurance or whatever?
Um, depends. Depends. Depends on the company, I guess, or whatever.
Oh no, it's just like random companies from random phone numbers I don't know send me
Oh,
that shit.
that stuff. Oh, I guess it happens to
Oh, it's
to
a
a small.
rematch. This is the Landstill person.
Yeah, this is the last super.
Oh,
We're gonna
oh,
again.
you have to pay out the prediction. Whoops. Okay, well, I have to mulligan.
Yes.
Probably
What
supposed to
about?
keep, but this is bad.
Are you supposed?
Alright.
4 lands is almost like 5 cards. IMO. I mean,
Okay, I mean, I
this
guess.
looks better IMO, but just put away the bolts.
Yep.
So you have actual win conditions.
The
I
mulligan
mean,
horn has been
this
sounded.
can theoretically win anyway, so it's not that bad. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe we are supposed to keep it, but close. Are we supposed to keep it only because it has Brainstorm and Daze? Or not? Second Arcanist is really bad. Unless we find a red source, then it starts being good.
Alright, I think I will keep.
Yeah, I'm more leaning towards keep than shuffle,
Sorry.
but it's really not that great. Overall,
Yeah, I mean,
everything. I mean the situation. I think you keep it, but
I think this gives me a decent shot of
yeah,
doing
if you hit
okay,
red
but
source, it's gonna be good.
MTG bot is back. Sick.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm priced into casting Brainstorm next turn, right?
Yeah, I think you have to, because otherwise your days gets worse, and you kind of want to hit red source now.
Okay, this is actually pretty ideal.
Almost the best thing.
Should I just put the Force back?
I like that. I like that a lot. But put the Wasteland on top.
Yep.
In case they like make some really weird move where you want to waste them or cast Oko.
Yep. Actually, you might just like overload them with threats, maybe.
We don't know yet. This looks better than
the 6 card 4
yeah,
lands
definitely
2.
better than the 6 card hand. Yeah, I think you shuffle, even though we have Oko. I would shuffle.
Yeah.
Just want to draw more spells. If we jam Oko here, then they have to force, but...
Yeah, I'm going to do it, actually. Because also if they just choose to counterspell, then we get to obliterate them with Daze.
That's true.
And if I draw another one, I can just play both of the Arcanists the next turn.
Yeah, also, like, if you play Arcanist now and then Daze their turn 3 play... I don't know. It's kind of weird. We don't want them to use their mana. Like, they could plow and stuff, right? And
exactly.
If they tap out next turn, we can Daze and then cast Arcanist, and then they can... And then they have to plow during their turn, and, you know... That's how it goes.
I think there's a lot of reason. So it looks like they're going for the counterspell line, which means I get to obliterate them with Daze, right? Oh, what a punk!
I totally forgot about that card.
It's okay though. Like I'm not playing around it there, but that's
I'm not playing around it either.
That's like maximum disrespect.
That sucks. You gotta just draw. Well, I don't know. A Wasteland would be a really good draw because then you can double Arcanist and waste them next turn, or lose to Supreme Verdict. Who knows? Ah, you gotta taste that.
Yep.
So they have Force. Because otherwise, I don't know why else they would ponder here. Okay. So they want to trade those 2 cards for 3 random cards. It's fine exchange, I guess.
It's like Thirst for Knowledge.
Yeah, it's decent.
No, I saw it. I'm not gonna do it right now. I think I just play Arcanist.
Do you even play the Volk? Because we can brainstorm it away.
Yeah, in these situations, when I have Arcanist going, I generally default to playing at least one more land out.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
I think it's going to be critical because we already have more plays lined up as well, right?
Yeah, but I expect the Arcanist to die or to get bounced in. Yeah, in case they Teferi, you would want to play the land as well. Yeah, makes sense.
I think not playing the land is just too Galaxy Brain.
2 Galaxy Brain?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's pretty standard actually, but in this situation.
Well, not with this rug list. I think with older rug lists, it was pretty standard not to play a land right there. But
yeah, maybe I'm just too 2014.
Where's the Court of Cunning? It's in our sideboard. Detention
Good that we
Sphere.
didn't play both Arcanists at once. It would have been so demoralizing.
That's such a weird card to play with so many people playing
just
Blast.
Don't want to lose to that one Omnitel player. Yeah, you just gotta play Arcanist.
That indicates to me that they probably don't have a plow in their hand, right? Because if you have a plow, you use the plow in Arcanist and save D-Sphere for Oko.
True. Yeah, I think the Oko turn was super fine. It's just that Dovin's Veto exactly punishes us.
Yep.
It's like the only card.
Probably have to force it, unfortunately.
Yeah, quite sad. Is this a Sanctuary or?
I don't think there's anything you want a Sanctuary back right here.
Maybe their hand is air. Okay, never mind.
There's some beeping going outside my house. I don't know if you can hear it.
I hear it.
They chose not to shuffle. I would have thought that meant that this is dead. Wow, they didn't have plow. Yeah. Gotta keep that. Take your one. Yeah, if they have Mystic Sanctuary in their deck, why do they have D-Sphere and not Council's Judgment?
I don't know. Maybe they want like more answers to
Alright, can I play around Shark Typhoon? I can't really, right?
3, 4. You just gotta run into it, I
Yeah,
think.
if they
Because
have...
if you can at least kill the shark, because the shark is gonna be 4/4, so you can bolt it afterwards. So it's not the worst thing to happen at all. And if they don't have it, it's insanely good, you know. So you really have to. I think you gotta. Yeah, I think that's the play. Yeah, the Daze is the worst card. They're Shark Typhooning, I think. Then we bolt it.
Well, when we played them, Pat... Well, see, like, they have Sanctuary, right? We don't know that they have Savine's Reclamation. There's been no
Hall of
indication of
Helios
that.
Generosity. Oh, that's actually not that bad in this deck, right? Because you have Detention Sphere, Standstill, Mode, Court of Cunning. Actually makes sense. Oh, you can also put Shark Typhoon on top with the whole.
Oh, shoot, I was supposed to bolt it. Because now they might force...
Whatever. Just...
I guess I wanted to see if they would block, but they're going to block 100%. I guess I still do this because it forces the force.
Yeah.
Well, wait, isn't the problem if I bolt it, they just don't have to block, right?
Oh, yeah, actually,
Okay,
you're
yeah,
right.
actually, then that play doesn't actually do anything, so...
Wait. Are we not fetching before the Ponder?
I only know one card on top, right?
Yeah, but I
Okay.
think that's already worth it, right?
Alright.
Or am I like, if I was playing any... Yeah, I think I would still fetch
Yeah,
before
I
the
was
Ponder.
I was supposed to fetch. I just blanked for a sec after discussing the bolt decision.
It's fine.
But yeah, but actually we cannot block. We cannot. All right. Well, probably gonna lose, but this is what happens when you 1 to 5 in these matchups.
You Shark Typhoon and I don't know what else. Standstill gave them too many cards.
No, we dazed the standstill, right? No, but they forced it back.
Through.
Yeah, yeah.
They just plus 2, plus 3, plus 6, plus 5. Plus 5 in total. Yeah, well, I guess you gotta cast that.
And I'm probably dead, but I do have to cast it.
Kind of.
Oh, Strifo, you already played with Opposition Agent? I guess he has. Yeah, this seems bad for me. They went from like 0 cards to like 5 or whatever. Oh. Can we get some follows and subs? Some Fs? If you have a Twitch Prime sub, use it on someone this month. If that someone's me, great. If it's someone else, also great. F. Alright, am I allowed to concede now?
Yeah, just concede.
This is like super
Don't want
boring.
to see this anymore.
I mean, I'm probably like 0.001%
They
to
have
win or
Detention
something.
Sphere and Jace on board. This reminds me of like, I don't know, 4 years ago or 3 or something.
Now that they've shown Detention Sphere, I really want...
Yeah, you definitely want all of those, all the enchantments. Klothys as well, right?
Yeah.
Or is Klothys... Yeah, I think it's good, right?
I'm going to side out all the bolts. I think they're pretty awful.
All the bolts, and... What else? We gotta cut a lot more.
I actually think Hooting Mandrills is not that great versus them.
Is it? Yeah, I guess they can bounce it with Teferi.
It's also bad if they're planning to side and rip.
Yeah, we don't need so many. We have billions of threats anyway. We don't need mandrills.
Okay, Ruin, people have advocated siding out Wasteland, but I think when I'm siding in more 3-drops, that becomes less
I don't
desirable.
think you cut any lands. I think the only
Yeah.
cards you can still cut are... What are they actually? I think Daze maybe, or...
I like Daze too much on the play to cut it, I think.
Oh yeah, we were on the play. Maybe, I don't know.
Actually, I'm thinking about Klothys more and more. I'm less and less thrilled about it because what... especially, I think this person's going to try to rip us as well.
Oh
So-
yeah, they sided. Oh yeah, sided Klothys. We have 3 draw engines anyway. So.
Yeah, I don't think I need Klothys versus them, and it's also
Klothys doesn't win outright against like shark. Like if they have make 2 sharks, they can race it.
Yep. There's a lot of ways for it to not be good enough.
While it's on the battlefield, so it doesn't actually actively.
Oh my god! Every time.
It doesn't actively affect the board, so.
Sorry, everyone, for the thing I cannot control, I guess. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start a prediction for this game, whether or not we cast the Court of Cunning. Let's see, how... Wait, how do I edit it? That's a good one. People love to gamble. I'm just fulfilling their wishes. Oh, Snapkeep.
Yeah, this sounds pretty good. Delver.
It's only a 1/1 for 1. Is play ambiguous? Is it actually ambiguous?
I mean, play means you can play the lands.
Oh,
and you can't cast lands. That's what the person means, I think.
Oh, but for Court of Cunning, it's pretty clear the intention, right?
That's true, yeah.
I have a feeling we have too many cards for slow decks in our sideboard right now because I didn't have time to map it out.
Yeah, and that's the problem with all the 3-drops. But yeah, whatever. We're gonna try that. We just did this, you know, like we didn't like agonize over it or anything. So
Nope.
It's can definitely change sideboard or something in the future.
No, play does not mean resolve because it's like whenever you. I don't know. I think the intention's clear, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Should I brainstorm or ponder right here?
It's a good question. I'd ponder, but
yeah. I'm gonna ponder off my green source because if I draw a blast,
the risk of not hitting a land with brainstorm is too high.
Right.
So I think you wanna ponder.
Well, we found only lands.
Don't even know if you want to keep any of those. Like maybe you want to keep a fetch.
I think I want to keep one.
Yeah. You can keep a fetch and then you can fetch, attack, ponder again.
I could have brainstormed right there, but I don't think it's worth it this turn.
I know what you want to do, but I don't think this is the situation for it. Like when you have Arcanist, sometimes this weird thing happens where you want to brainstorm, then ponder, then brainstorm with the Arcanist, and then ponder again, right?
Right.
But I don't think this is the situation.
Wait, are they flusterstorming this ponder?
That's so fine if they do that. Looks like it, yeah.
Is that, like, really what you want to be doing?
Probably not. So the weirdest thing is, do we play Arcanists? Probably. I'm not sure, like, they have Supreme Verdict in their deck, but it ensures that we have another Arcanist attack, right?
I think I'm going to, but it's...
I think you want to, yeah.
I do understand what you mean.
Yeah.
What's up, shop?
Huh. That's funny. It's gonna be even more funny if they force it through because we have Return to Nature.
Yep.
Okay,
But
sad.
they didn't.
Return to Nature.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
let's
definitely
do a
casting
fetch
Brainstorm,
land.
though.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So we are flashbacking a
Brainstorm.
like not so great Brainstorm,
But it's okay.
that's...
Like, this is going to be really good for us, I think.
we have the Court, yeah. I think even if they Supreme Verdict next turn, we are still in a really good shape. Oh, there is Ponder.
I think I want to shuffle these two away. Like, they're so bad.
Yeah, you do that.
And if they don't have Verdict, we're also winning. So, like, we might as well plan for them having Verdict, right?
True. Do you actually keep the Ponder so you can, so you can have more Ponders in your graveyard? But I don't know if that's worth.
I think I'm gonna shuffle because I expect everything to die.
Okay, and you can also hit Blast.
Oh,
okay,
that's also good too.
That's also pretty good, yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
well, if they're
so
starting with that,
else.
I think we are going to
I think
show them who the boss is.
Winner.
All right.
Dinner.
Okay, game 3, we're on the draw, but I think the matchup is actually decent for us.
I think if you're on the draw and you draw blasts, like at least one, I think you can like try to counter their card advantage engines and just play the same, like play a 1-for-1 game until you resolve your own card advantage engine.
They didn't let me cast the court. I was going to next turn. The concession side. There's a prediction active that I was going to play at this. Or wait, what's the prediction for that game?
I don't know. I don't.
It was. Oh my god. That's so insane. People got screwed. All right, we'll do it. We'll do it again for the next game. The opponents killed the dream, y'all. The opponent killed the dream. I'm actually considering cutting one Return Nature from one Klothys, but I probably won't. It's kind of close though, right?
I don't know. You either want Klothys or what other enchantments did they have last time? They have
Rip sometimes.
They have Rip. They have these, but Rip doesn't do that much against our current config.
Right.
And they have Moat, I guess.
Okay, I'm not gonna cut it then. But Moat's not that good versus us, actually.
You could actually, yeah. I would actually switch one with a Klothys. I think.
Yeah.
Just to have some diversity, but because drawing double return is kind of bad.
We saw that right there. But I think the first Disenchant's really good in this matchup. Crash? Yup.
Yay.
I assume someone has reported this, so I'm not bothering reporting.
Oh, have I reported the Battle Shaper bug? I don't know.
What's the Battle Shaper bug?
So Boros Battle Shaper, you know how the card works, right?
Yeah.
So at the beginning of each combat, you choose up to one creature that has to attack, and up to one creature that can't attack, that has to attack or block, and one that can't attack or block. And it says those creatures have to attack or block or can't attack or block until end of the combat, not until end of turn. So yeah, if you take extra combat steps with Morar, Fury of Akum, you should have to re-choose the same creatures if you want them to not be able to block again. But Moto makes it that they can't block for the whole turn.
Oh my god, it's broken!
Yeah,
you broke it!
I accidentally won against Marit Lage that way. And then I realized...
Wow, that's insane. Also, they mold and...
It was not intentional abuse, but I won against it and then I realized it's a bug. So that was kind of... yikes.
What? Why would my deck have Spreading Algae in it? Oh, chat! Chat, it might be happening! I kind of
all
want.
those cards are good.
Yeah,
Don't you want to have every single card?
yeah. The question is, what do I actually want to
I
do?
think you draw Force,
Yeah, I don't want
and
the
next
second
turn Court.
Arcanist that
The
much.
second Arcanist is not as important.
Mhm. Emo Pizza. If I get enough channel points to the contribution, I might play lands with spreading algae in it. There's a community like challenge thing.
Is there?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's like a channel point community challenge thing that you can contribute your points to. Anyone can contribute to that.
oh yeah, that thing. I
My
forgot.
hand's so good right now. If I lose, I'll be sad. But I'm jamming here.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
think.
they have
I don't
no
think
colored
if
mana.
we lose, it's gonna be a really long game because
If we lose, it's probably because we punted it away somewhere. Is my also
probably.
suspicion.
Yeah, I think the hand seems good enough to drag the game out at least a couple turns. Wait, that's really good for us if that gets forced.
I'm not forcing back, I think.
No, definitely not. But I'm just saying, if that doesn't get plowed.
Callum is the worst. He tagged me in a real super important Facebook message, and I click on it, and it's not super important whatsoever. What a
And
scumbag!
the reserved list got abolished or what?
I want to force this. Is that crazy?
Is it crazy?
I'm gonna pitch Brainstorm, I think.
Really? What if we brick on lands?
Do you want to pitch Oko then?
I want to pitch. Oko, yeah.
All right. They might fluster, then we might daze the standstill anyways.
Yeah,
so
you have to keep the Daze.
Yeah, there's no question about daze, I think. All right, chat. All right, chat. This is what you came for. Chat. This is it. The court is now in session. Stefan, how does this make you feel?
Pretty good, actually.
No shit.
I think the card is quite nice. Oh,
it's easy.
Yeah.
I do this.
Yeah, I think you pitch Brainstorm and
Yeah,
now this
because if they fluster this, I want to daze the back to basics.
Yeah, the Daze actually has value still because of the back to basics if it resolves.
I'm definitely milling them out. Wow, this is such a fast clock.
Wasteland.
I'd
waste the Tundra.
Yeah. I also want to point out that back to basics would have killed 2 of their lands.
That's true.
PogChamp.
Force.
How do I want to slice this? Probably just Pyro it, right? No, because of Shark
I would
Typhoon.
force Hardcast. Pyro hits most things anyway.
I think this is probably correct, yeah. Just good old Dissipate.
Dissipate is great.
Deck's great. Card's great.
Everything's great.
Oh my god, it's a slaughter.
Yeah.
I guess I technically tapped the wrong land, but...
Yeah, I was about to say it. I was about to ask if we still have a Mandrills in our deck.
We don't, actually, yeah.
Or like if you draw a library, I guess, but...
The library was a consideration, so it's not like completely a punt, but I
it's
think
like
it's probably...
1 library versus 2 blasts and... We were 2.
Oh, we could have hardcast Daze, but I think there's a universe where you want to have the option of dazing like a more expensive card in a different turn. Or like another 3-drop, right?
I actually like Daze there because it costs 0 mana for later turns, but I'm not sure like Yeah, maybe we should have just Daze actually.
Well, I
I
don't
didn't
know.
I didn't really think it through. I was like, I want to play the more expensive card now, but maybe Daze loses value too fast. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we should have Dazed.
I'm farming my irrelevant Elo back. And speaking of Elo,
Elo is like channel points.
yeah, Elo's like channel points. It doesn't matter, but you can gamble it in fun ways for entertainment with your friends, right? All right, what's the next prediction we should say? I don't know. I can't come up with one. If a mod wants to start a prediction, you can start one. It cannot be mean or trolling. It has to be like a serious-ish gameplay prediction. What is Stefan? All right, I will open the twin alignment chart for chat to see.
What's that? Oh.
Actually, my favorite one is this one. Peanut butter and jelly.
I don't know about that. Maybe.
My least favorite one is literally the Tron one because that's 3 cards!
Has the most cards, yeah.
Oh my god, poor Deceive. What the hell?
Neither twin can look like anything.
Also, aesthetic is spelled aesthetic is spelled all wrong in all 3 of these.
I am definitely function purist, aesthetic purist.
So am I.
Because I played that deck in Pioneer when it was broken.
It's true. Probably keep, but it's not.
Yeah, this is exactly on the border of keep, I think. And again, you can find Brainstorm, so... Yeah, this is...
Yeah, why is Splinter Twin not on the chart? That's actually the punt. Like, actual Splinter Twin Exarch should be... Oh, we're playing against GAC. This is not... I think I'm going to force this. Is that crazy?
No, I think it's correct.
Yeah.
Because Delver already loses to some of the, like, weaker stuff that they put in the graveyard, so it's you'd rather just hope that they are completely stifled.
That's fine. Definitely gassing this here, though. I guess I have to keep the Ponder, but it's kind of bad, too.
I think you keep the Ponder. Yeah, it's whatever. I think we also should have used the fetch land for the Preordain, but whatever.
Oh, because, I should have, yeah.
Yeah, because we have 3, and you put cards on bottom and then you shuffle, but it doesn't matter. IMO. Okay, they have crawlers. Maybe... Huh. I was about to say we should ponder before we play land, but...
I don't think I'm... Well, I don't think I'm ever taking the waste and wasting them here because of how the board looks, but... I'm sympathetic to taking the Delver and fetching and playing it, though.
Yeah.
I think that's the most likely way for me to win. Good morning? It's evening.
Good morning. Where do you live that it's morning?
Well, it's funny because I know this small child lives in the same state as me, so it's definitely not morning. That's why I'm questioning it.
Oh. Maybe we have some sleep schedule issues.
His response is, it's 2 p.m., it's basically morning. That's a very college kid thing to say, right? Cowl! What? 2 p.m.'s not morning. Oh my god, you all are the worst. Especially Callum, he's the super worst.
White faces sucks.
Wow. White faces sucks.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Oh, we need... We need
I have
morning
issues,
alignment
sorry.
chart. We need a morning alignment chart.
If you win against Gak with only 2 surgicals as your hate, then you probably have some of the higher end draws with Delver.
Yep.
It's not looking that bad for that they resolved the crap though.
That's bad though.
Pretty bad.
Do I have to kill that? Probably, right?
I would agree with the killing. I am in for the killing. Attack. Why no attack?
Oh shoot. Yeah, I'm definitely not
You
blocking,
missed
so I
1
should have
damage.
attacked.
It's all gonna come down to that.
It might actually. The games operate on such thin margins that it might.
But it's true that we're yeah.
You're calling me a tyrant? I don't understand what's going on here. By the way, thanks to the raid, Arcane. I just saw it. Brainstorm. We found the Brainstorm eventually.
It's pretty good.
Yes.
We need Arcanist. I'd actually have kept the drop.
Oh, because you think the damage will matter?
Yeah, but whatever. Whatever. It might not matter. I think you take Dreadhorde and cast it so you survive. Right. I mean, so you survive in the long run.
Am I supposed to attack again? Probably. I don't want to trade with any of these, right?
I mean, you could trade Delver and like when they attack with everything, you could like kill both crawlers and hope they don't have another zombie. But I don't know if that's a winning
I'm not
plan,
doing
actually.
that.
I
I think that's
like
bad.
it.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I feel like you're more playing to win with keeping the Delver. Gotta let that resolve, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of issues with it, but we like if they flip a Gak. Oh, that's also not good somehow. Somehow that's also like really bad for me.
Everything is bad. Every 2-1, every 1-1 is a problem.
What I found in these matches is one of the better cards is actually Oko.
Yeah, Oko would be the next card. Do we? I think we actually have to double Daze this because it produces a zombie even if we kill it.
Yep.
This is kind of funny.
Well, we can brainstorm to try to return some lands and get more gas. I'm not sure it's going to be enough by any stretch of the imagination, but... So if I block, doesn't it just convert a 2-1 to a 2-2?
It does, but it also prevents damage for next turn. I don't know. You could... yeah, you... I would actually... Oh, this is kind of hard. Which one do you block, actually?
If I block Gravecrawler, it produces another zombie. Yeah, I guess it's kind of... The problem...
But the Bloodghast gets haste.
Yeah,
but I think if they draw a land, we die anyway. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Probably doesn't matter.
It's probably...
Could just brainstorm first.
What do we want to find, Ian?
Like mandrills and a bolt, I think keeps us alive.
Yeah, would be ideal.
So...
Yeah, I think you do that. Yeah, I think.
So maybe I could ponder first, but...
You could ponder first,
but if I draw a bolt first...
Nothing really...
Alright, I'm dead. Aren't I still dead?
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, right?
You're not entirely dead because you can bolt a zombie, you can block with Delver.
Well, no. What I should do is just pretend they don't draw land, attack them with the Delver, block one, and bolt the zombie token, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. But...
I mean, not getting to attack kind of sucks, but...
But how do we win then?
Okay, I could still cantrip into a Mandrills, right?
I think that would be the plan, actually. think you have to hit it, because if you don't attack with Arcanist...
Wait, hold on. Okay, yeah, actually, yeah, that works. So I should ponder, I guess, because it looks at... Yeah, this makes sense, because if the Mandrills is not there...
Yeah, then we lose anyway, I think.
Alright, that's fine.
Maybe we should not have attacked with the Delver in the first place, because that would play around bridge. Because you can then force a block and kill the bridge. But I didn't expect them to mill a bridge for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of.
I actually hate this card versus them. I don't think it's very good.
Nah, I don't like it either. I think Force is really good, but Force of Negation, Force of Will is good, but Force of Negation isn't.
I actually do like all of the blasts, or at least 2.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I need the 3.
Enough, or is it too slow?
It's pretty clunk. I generally don't side it, and I don't think the games actually degenerate to a state where this is actually good for some. But call me crazy, I like shaving 1 Preordain because I don't think you always have the time to do it a whole lot.
Yeah, I can see that. There's nothing else that I would want to cut anyway.
Submerge is fine if they fetch Bayou. I don't like Blazing Volley versus them. I think that's a high variance plan, personally.
Yeah, I mean, bolts are more flexible. They can also go to the dome and also kill Vengevines.
We also still need cuts. You're not allowed to cut this card or this card in this matchup. You're not really allowed to cut these, and I don't think you're allowed to cut these.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to cut these, so...
I think you're also not allowed to cut Dreadhorde. So...
I actually think this card is not that good versus them, personally, but...
It kills Altar as well, right?
Yeah.
But...
So, Lackey, the problem is I don't think even at its ceiling this card's that insane versus Hogak. That's why I don't like it.
I think Bolt is much better, though. I just think before you side in Blazing Volley, you would side in the third blast.
Exactly.
And we already won't do that, so...
Look, no one's suggesting siding in Court versus deck. Literally no one. You don't like Falcon too much? Okay, that's a weird way of putting it, and I don't think that really addresses the problem with the matchup. I think you're not allowed to side out Force of Will, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, what about just cutting the return?
No, so Lackey, almost all of the games Rug wins in this matchup are damage-based, in my opinion. So I'm not actually going to have the second snag in. Actually, I should have 0 snags. Now I've changed my mind.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually good.
Snag is kind of high variant. It's worse than Mind Harness.
Oh, in this matchup, Mind Harness would be much better, but...
You could also, we could also side in Submerge, because they have Bayous.
Yeah, but this... I mean, that's like...
We didn't crash.
Look, okay. If people keep saying Bolt is sus, I don't think they understand how Rug wins this matchup. I'm actually tired of explaining...
Bolt is too important because it kills Crab as well, right?
Bolt's too important because it kills them. You don't want to play a long game in this matchup.
They have so many creatures that can't block, is one thing.
Yeah.
Don't think Bolt is... You can side out some of the removal with control decks, but you can... It's not how this deck works, right?
Yeah. I think almost all of the games you win involve killing them. Now the question is, do I want the second Bolt?
I'm thinking about the Wasteland actually, and not the Bolt. I think I would bottom the Bolt and keep the Wasteland.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because they're a multi-6, and when I played Hogak, the games that I lost to them were either involved me mulling to 4, them having Graveyard Hate, or them wasting me 2 times. And I think this is kind of such a game, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna daze it and waste them.
You're gonna play for that. I think you still waste that.
I can waste them and see if they try to set up graveyard stuff, right?
They can't possibly punish the Soul Guide Lantern here, I think. Unless they, thought he does or anything. I don't know. It's fine. Maybe could snatch the Bloodcast away. Ooh. Okay.
If they put a second black creature in the stack, I think I might just crypt them in response.
You might just nuke it.
It's 5 black, green, right? But their creature's tapped?
Yeah, their creature is tapped.
Okay, so that means they don't have Hogak in their hand, most likely.
Yep. Also, we can, like, bolt the... Oh, Brainstorm is probably what we want to do, though, right? Or maybe not. Like, there's two... You could...
I think I'm going to Brainstorm into playing a second Soul Guide.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate, but I think I wanted to fetch anyways.
I actually think you... Yeah.
So...
I mean, you might even want to cast Oko before you waste them, so it's not that bad.
Exactly. But, so, I know chat's going to be like, oh my god, the bolts suck here, but if you go with turn 1 Delver, these bolts would have been super effective, so...
Yeah, I think we put away both bolts.
Yes, here I will, but it's very contextual, and if someone else says that bolt sucks in this matchup, I'm just going to ignore you.
Just gonna ban. I'm gonna ban them. No, that would be crazy, but
doesn't really matter what I exile, I think.
Yeah, bolt is pretty good, I think. You can also bolt your own creatures to exile the bridges. There is a lot of usage. And also with Arcanist it doubles. And they have lots of creatures that can't block.
They're getting close.
Nah. They're not. You have Oko.
Do I just waste them this turn and take 6? Take 5?
Nah, I would play Oko. We have Force of Will. What, like, if they cast Hogak.
So I have well, in this situation I have to plus on a Soul Guide then, right?
Yeah.
But I think that's fine to do.
I think that's totally fine. I think you definitely have to play Oko because the way they still win this game is by us giving them too much time. Their hand is full of spells, so we don't want them to be able to unlock. I think you will just let that go. Yeah.
I agree.
Is that 2 Bloodcasts?
It is. If they crack their fetch, I'll probably crypt them.
I think that's okay. I mean, we played the Oko. So now they can't really do anything other than cast Hogak, right? If they have it even.
I would have shuffled away Klothys in that situation given my hand. I think the Oko's better. Like, that's also... I don't think that's a good faith argument, Jeff. Like, just think about what you're saying.
But I'm saying you wouldn't have shuffled away Klothys. I mean...
I would have shuffled Klothys in that hand.
Away? I'm not sure. I think you just don't block. I mean,
I think this is
no reason to take that risk.
So one thing I can do is I can initiate by wasting their fetch and seeing if they fetch.
This doesn't feel like a Brainstorm matchup. What the fuck?
Well, Dom's clearly trolling. I do not think Klothys is good in this matchup. I think bolts are much better, and I'm going to die on that hill. I think I'm just
going to die on that hill.
I think I'm just gonna waste their fetch. Actually,
are you? Yeah, actually, I think that's a pretty good play. But then you're forced to like Soul Guide Lantern, right?
Yeah, that's fine, I
Wait,
think.
wait, wait, wait. Don't you wanna wait for them to stack the triggers? Because if they stack it wrong, then you get to exile the cards that they mill as well.
Sure. That makes sense.
There is no downside other than they having a random crop rotation in their deck. I guess you have to pop it anyway, but I mean, it doesn't cost anything.
Okay, nice. The further question is, what do I waste here and why? Probably the blue source.
Probably the blue says their green is restricted to DK, Trophy,
And Vengevine.
Vengevine, Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time. I think all those cards require 2 lands or more, while the blue cards require only 1 land, so that's probably what we want to do. Yeah, I don't know, I think Klothys is like a C or D tier card for this matchup. It's like it does something, but it's not like
Actually,
it's worse than Oko, right?
if they cast Hogak, do I even care? No, right?
Actually, we don't care about Hogak here. I think
Yep.
we just want to make sure that we don't lose to Altar. Altar is the way they backdoor us.
How does Rug beat Hogak's late game? With Oko, usually, is my
Oko
experience.
can win.
Hi, Star. Why do you...
Or you bolt them a lot into their face. that's the
Okay,
one way.
Hi, Star. Why are you comparing apples to oranges? I don't understand.
What the old Canadian this deck? Maybe from a play style and flavor
Oh,
perspective,
that's
yeah.
sad. Okay. That's
Okay, I didn't
bad.
think about that at all.
Well,
That was
that was the
that's
punish.
that was the punish. I didn't think about. They
Hmm.
could also have had trophy and stuff like that. Oh damn.
We got played. That was a good play from our opponent.
Yeah, we might have also just punted.
Yeah, possibly, but what else am I going to do now?
Think, how do you win this? How do you win this? I think you let it go through.
Yeah, that was sad.
So plan is to find a second Oko.
Maybe wasting was too aggressive. That's what I'm actually thinking about now. So I think now I'm pressing to brainstorming.
Yeah.
Jeff, okay, Jeff, if you're really gonna talk like that, I'm actually sick of it. Like, seriously, would Klothys be good in this situation either?
Yeah, man.
You've actually, this is not really a low situation. You've been pretty aggressive about doing this, and you should like actually consider apologizing. I think. I don't
Okay,
want this
let's
chat
see.
to be about like people aggressively spamming their opinions in the chat.
I mean, that's Twitch chat, right?
No, it doesn't have to be all Twitch chats. You can ban people. I would prefer not to ban someone for someone who's not literally doxing me or whatever. But I will call people out when they do this shit.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
I'm open to all intellectual discussion, but I want it to be in good faith. People a lot of the times don't do that. They really don't.
Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I think it's pretty clear that either Klothys or Bolt wouldn't do anything here, or not much. So I guess Bolt technically could do stuff, because he could attack with the elk and maybe they block.
I'm not banning for opinion. I literally said I wouldn't, but I also want people to not just like keep memeing saying, "Oh, what if that was that?" and stuff like that. I don't want to discuss it anymore. My opinion's been known, and if you're going to do that, I will start throwing the ban hammer down.
Wow. Yeah. So I think
I have to suicide my Arcanist to cantrip actually,
yeah, I
but
think you wanna probably Preordain or maybe even Brainstorm because you wanna look as deep as possible. I don't actually know what we need to find. I think it's probably Oko still. Oko and a creature or something. There is a bolt.
Bolt's actually good here, I think. Now that the game looks like this, I think it's actually good, but it's probably not going to be enough.
Yeah, I really didn't think about them having an extra land because they didn't have lands
I
before,
could have played it differently, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure as well. It might have been a punt, but I'm not sure if it's even a punt. Because they had no lands for the previous, or they didn't play them at least. They had no lands for a
It's
long
also
time.
they were smart and just sandbagging them, actually.
I
but
think that's what happened, actually. Yeah.
I think our opponent played really well, so we lost.
I think if we thought about what a good gag player would do, then we might have figured out what happened and not just thought that they screwed. Yeah. Rip. Whatever.
This is what happens when I care too much for my chat. I just want to discuss things with people, but then people don't want to treat me the same way. That's what it feels like. It's kind of annoying, actually.
Well, I mean, not everyone is in the chat like with the same intention, you know? Not everyone it's Twitch chat, that's what I meant before. You cannot expect everyone to be on the same page.
I'm a strong independent wizard who needs no chat. But if I had no chat, then what's the point of streaming? So that's like kind of defeats the point.
You be without your chat?
You know, I do hate that it just keeps resetting it back to the view every time.
Spreading algae. This spreading algae Rishadan port thing is something I tried like 5-6 years ago in some casual deck. I don't know why people are playing this.
Because people want to feel something.
I mean, it's pretty cool when you get to do it because you just tap land, destroy land, algae the next land, and it's almost as good as didgeridoo. But
what's my single favorite basic land art? Hong Kong Island. No, I've also not considered putting it into Wingdings font, like I know that you're fond of.
Wingdings, oh god.
Seriously, if you check out Chase's stream, which you should at some point, he just has random text in Wingdings font rotated 90 degrees, and it's unreadable. So really hoping for either a cantrip or a land. Huh. Do I even care?
You don't have cantrips, so...
Oh, alright, yeah.
If you had a Ponder in hand, I would probably...
Yeah, I would too, but this, again, context matters a lot.
But if you draw land or cantrip afterwards, it's fine. Oh, okay, so you're playing... Wait, they have islands.
Well, so Digital Sloth, there's a few APAC islands. Oh, that's kind of a punish, but that's okay. I think I just Bolt and Brainstorm.
Yep.
Maybe I don't even Bolt this, because if they played Arcanist...
Yeah, or you just Brainstorm and see what happens. That's probably better, yeah. Okay. Thinking... Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess this way, and then drop and pass. Then we can get to see what they reveal, and can maybe upkeep bold or end step bold or whatever.
Kind of hope they tap out for something here, actually, but...
Yeah, some 2-drop, some like... it can't be Sprite Dragon because they're already attacked, so it has to be Arcanist or something. Let it resolve.
Yep. Considering bolting the Delver end step now. They top, that's kind of terrifying. I think I have to do it. So the reason to do it is the Oko is relatively safe the next turn.
Yeah, I think you bolt. The main problem here is that if they have another Daze, it's gonna be hard to resolve Oko, but I guess that's what you have to do.
I think I should still play it though, probably.
I think you want to, because they already dazed once.
Yeah.
So they need Daze plus Force or Daze plus Spell Pierce. Actually, they need more because they need 2 free counters. Because if they spend mana, we have Daze as well.
That's a good sign. That means our Daze is really good now, right?
Yep. And if we Daze, we might wanna
pick up the Volk.
The Volk because
and not replay it, yeah.
And not replay it, yeah. Depending on how they counter or whatever. Okay. Nice. So, yeah, I don't think you want to play the Volk.
No.
I think you just...
Yeah. I think this is...
Then,
if they play an Arcanist...
Their deck is really bad against Oko when they have no creatures on board.
Right. Well, we don't know that they're just straight blue-red for sure yet, but it's very likely.
Yeah. We can also steal that.
I think I'm going to, actually, but...
And they need 2 bolts. And we can also play land, so we can hardcast the Force or something.
Yep. It fights for me now. And I'll just cast Fawn on, like, whatever... Not that, probably, but, like, a Bolt for sure.
Actually, I would have Fawned that, I think. Because they could hit Sprite Dragon plus land, and then Oko dies.
Okay, sure, that's a reasonable counter argument, but
Yeah, but there are also arguments against it. So it was just the first thing that came to my mind.
wow, this is like turning into a runaway. I think. What did they waste? Okay, my bulk. Yeah, it makes sense. I think I ponder, and then flashback to ponder probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
It looks like they conceded. There's like a lag. It is not that hidden, I think. Although, I guess it's not used that often. Alright. I do not like this card in this matchup. And unfortunately for y'all, I do not think this is a court matchup either.
This is one of the worst decks to board court against, I think.
Yeah, it's like really high variance, and you don't know what's going to happen if you do it.
So, oh yeah, you already decided the way I wanted to.
I'm just thinking about Vapor Snag. Klothys can sometimes be good,
Klothys
but
is it's good if you like trade everything they have 1 for 1 and then play the Klothys, right? Otherwise, it's not that good.
so Leviathan asks, are the court matchups just library matchups? I think it's similar, but sometimes the library is less safe than becoming the monarch.
It really depends, I think. I
Yeah.
still think people have to figure out when court is that much better than library and stuff. Like, I think library is still one of the best green selection cards. So it just depends on decks. Like, there could be I could see situations where, like, with a control deck, you even sideboard it in against Storm or something, just as a win condition.
I'm only siding in Volley basically for Young Pyromancer, because I think that card's like kind of
Volley also.
God damn it.
Once more with feeling.
It's crashing. Monker's Nose,
I
I
mean,
was...
Blazing Volley is always fine because it can also kill Unflip Delvers and stuff like, I don't know, maybe they have a Snapcaster Mage. I mean, it won't kill the Spread Dragon because they probably give it a counter.
Monker's Nose, I was going to consider it. Couldn't get the Hull Breachers. Because the friend...
we could have sided out one Wasteland, but I don't think you want that,
Nah, I don't like to do that. I think people side out Wasteland too much, actually, personally. But I
This is
mean,
usually a matchup where I side out like one or something. But yeah, they are also a Daze deck, so.
alright, I can just put this back, I think.
Yeah.
It sounds like pretty good for a 6-card hand. It's 6 on 6, so it might be a little bit more attrition-y.
6 cards, so Bolt is always really good in these matchups.
Yep. Is it crazy to just run out the Delver off a Trop?
I think I would. Maybe off
Also,
a bulk.
do you notice it says Scries 2, but also tells you where the cards go? Like, what's the point of that?
I don't know.
That's kind of weird.
I would play it off a bulk actually, because in case they play Arcanist, you can bolt, and if they force, you can bolt again.
Sure, that makes sense.
I know, like, the reason to fetch Trop is pretty good too, but I think if you are if you're in this situation, you should probably. I think you just attack and pass, right?
Yep. So about Wasteland and the mirrors, all right. It's like specifically if I knew for sure they were blue red, we had a pretty strong read on blue red, but they're a little bit less susceptible to getting wasted out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Digital Sloth, generally speaking, when your hand looks like Delver, Bolt, and you have 2 lands, you want to fetch Trop on turn 1. So if you need to cantrip into Bolt, you can cast your cantrip, then use the second fetch to get Volcanic. That's a very common play pattern.
Specifically because in this situation we only had 2 lands, so we needed to, like, if we want to brainstorm and then fetch, then we need to know which color it is afterwards,
I feel like I don't even want to brainstorm here. It feels so likely they have a blast.
Yeah, we might just want to untap.
Yeah, I think so. All right,
Yeah, I guess
I'm down to cast Ponder though.
I think you take the blast, but
yeah,
you should probably shuffle away both the other cards.
Blast is better than a random draw for sure, but
yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. They're not even wasting at all. So they are playing around Daze, I think. But I think we just insta bolt still.
I agree. It kind of sucks because, like, the way we're set up, one waste is...
because now if we cast a green spell, we won't have a green source afterwards.
Yeah.
But there is not...
Oh,
whatever. Let's
so, actually, I'm just going to say for y'all out there, this play makes no sense because if I have Daze, I can fetch again, foot mana, and Daze picking up the Wasteland that's targeted. So if you think your opponent has Daze, you shouldn't do this, I think, a lot of the time. But that might also just be too Galaxy Brain. Kind of weird that they did it right then, right?
I really don't.
Alright, I'm going to cast Brainstorm.
We have to resolve Brainstorm now. Well, we can. It's quite interesting. I don't know.
I'm going to put the waste back, actually.
Yeah, it's either waste or force, right? I think I would waste, yeah. Probably should have put the Blazing Volley on top, though, because we don't know what they do next turn.
Right, right.
I don't think it will matter. Well,
I didn't put it on top, right?
Yeah, we have Wasteland on top. Anyway, we Daze that and shuffle. I don't think this outcome is that much different from the other outcome, because now we get to see a random card earlier. But it would probably have been better to do it the other way.
I think it's slightly better to do it the other way, but...
Well, I don't think we I don't think we can run it out.
No, it feels a lot like they have Daze, because they thought so long about us having Daze, it actually...
Yeah.
I think...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They might have Daze in their hands. That's why they played around it so hard for 2 turns or 1 turn. Also, like, even if we resolve it, they may just blast it.
Yep.
And then we have a food in play for nothing, so... Might just want to draw cantrips first so that they catch blast or something.
Okay. I could play it now.
Maybe we should play it now.
If they blast, what do I do? Probably just let it go, right?
I think... Quite interesting what to do then. I don't know. I would actually force back, I think, actually, if they do it.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure. They might have Fluster though, actually, so I don't know. But if they like force back, then we can blast, but then they can have Daze, you know. It's kind of so like... Okay, so they need to have another blast or 2 bolts.
I think it's hard for them to have 2 bolts with 1 down. It's a little bit more likely we get blasted, I think, but it is what it is, right? I mean, the food token's not nothing, obviously. Oh, okay. Maybe I'm wrong.
Random events.
We can also waste that land in a sec.
What?
What?
That's not...
Oh, so they thought they were... What? So they thought... Oh, no. This actually does make sense, right? What they were doing is making sure it doesn't get stolen. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense.
It's back.
There is the card that we don't want anymore.
I think I'm just
Well,
gonna... Yeah.
And you waste them, for sure.
Yep. inside combat. If you waste at random times, I'll waste at random times. Haha! We don't care about it. It's finally back to pay off.
It was all perfectly planned.
Double Volt Yoroka, the new Double Volt your Goyf? Yes, probably. Those are very similar things. Well, it looks like this is going very well for us. Digital Sloth calls it right. I'm getting wasted and blasted on stream. We're also doing the wasting and blasting. Although less blasting. By the way, I didn't even consult you, but I don't like countering random cantrips here for... I mean, unless I literally had lethal, then I would consider it, but I generally just hold on to these for a little bit longer. Looks like your opponent's dying pretty hard. I feel like they have a true name in here.
Both games were just cast Oko, counter, and win.
It's weird because we almost didn't force back, but then you talked me into it, and then it worked out super well, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, they have some... It's funny because we don't have anything good to submerge in our deck besides Mandrills.
We could blast it, but I don't think you want to do it. But yeah, I don't think you want to do it.
Yeah, it's funny because I think this card has gotten a lot worse depending on how people construct their deck.
People play less Tarmogoyfs as well.
Yep. We're basically a blue-red deck splashing Oko and 2 Mandrills in game 1. They could submerge my Arcanist and I probably redraw that one. I mean, any creature is a good submerge target, yes, but...
Yeah.
You're sort of seeing strategic mismatch, I think, whereas Oko beats a handful of submerges, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright.
Submerge is also good when your opponent is fetching, but...
Well, Submerge aged real bad versus Depths because of Tom just deciding he wanted to play City of Brass and Gemstone Mine and Mana Confluence, which I can respect that. That's good.
There is a guy from like ages ago who built the deck that way, actually.
Alright, so Spider's Face asks a really good question. Curious, what's the lore of going straight blue-red Delver over Teamer? So, hypothetically, the advantage, which hasn't borne out for me, is you get to play 2 basic lands, which means Wasteland's a lot less good for you. But, as you saw in that game, the deck is just a lot less powerful, and I think that's like a huge issue. And we still got to Wasteland their Volk and maybe cut them off of like True Name Nemesis or whatever. So I don't really love straight blue-red. I have played it in the past, but that is hypothetically the advantage of being straight blue-red.
Yeah, sometimes people said that it would be good in the actual Delver mirrors, but when people play big green creatures, it tends to be not true.
I mean, to be fair, there are less big green creatures in this list, but if you had a bunch of Tarmogoyfs and Mandrills, your matchup versus straight blue-red would be very, very,
One
very
advantage is too that you are allowed to play stuff like Blood Moon in the sideboard, I guess, or Price of Progress.
No, I think Spider's Face, I think that's a really good question, and it's not always obvious why you would do one thing and do.
Oh, you're new to Legacy. Oh,
yeah, no, that's the...
No, it's because...
we all know. We all look through the modern deck lists, right?
Yeah. I played against them recently with my weird Painter Abomination, and and it's probably not what you wanna play against when you learn the format.
Sorry, Chase, I thought you'd be all over Death and Taxes.
Oh yeah, they played that.
I also remember them playing like Chalice Devoted Company. Does that sound right? Or am I confused? I really want to say that happened at one point.
By the way, I think you played really well in the match that we played when I played Painter against your Yorion Death and Taxes.
It was Chalice Devoted Company. That is the exact deck I was thinking of from like a year ago. 1.5 years ago or whatever. I always click on deck lists because I like looking at them and trying to figure out what people are doing and where the metagame's going. I have played Crop Rotation and Caracas before. In fact, the previous version. Do I still have it saved? I was contemplating playing Reclaimer and that stuff.
I've played a Reclaimer exactly one league in that deck, and it was back when you played Hexdrinker as well. So it was like a really weird list. Different times.
Alright, so I think what I want to do is open some chests for everyone's
Open
here.
all.
Or. No, that's a channel point reward.
Anurag actually opened all recently.
Did he really?
Yeah, I don't know what made like some he said like if some people gift subs or something, and then they actually gifted enough subs or something.
No, I did not open
really,
your chest
really
from
weird.
last night, so that's what we're getting to. This is for Genki Ho-Oh.
This is for the Minotaur brother in mind.
Man, this card was so
Minotaur
good.
soulmate.
This card was obscene. Like, why? You remember?
Yeah, this card was. I actually, even though like this card and the whole food mechanic was so overpushed, I really liked the mirrors of those decks in standard.
And that's why you played Team Reclamation that MC?
That's what. No. I played Team Reclamation because I thought that would be better, but the mirrors of Sultai I really liked.
This was Oko's best friend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was insane. There are so many situations where you were like, can I afford to play around Wicked Wolf? What if they have it?
This is for white faces.
Huh.
Yeah, the Sultai Oko mirrors for that MC were super complex. Although a lot of people play
Some
straight
games
blue
just-
green as well, so
That's true, yeah.
it was a weird tournament where you ate a lot of hamburgers, I think. Is there an open bet? There isn't currently. I think I'm about to wrap it up. It's been almost 5 hours now. But I do appreciate everyone coming here. And I'm sorry if I was heated earlier. I just want to point out that I don't like... I really, really do find it annoying when people do that sort of stuff. You know?
I can see that. I wouldn't love it either. I guess I'm just not in the streamer business.
GP hamburger. Well, do you think there will ever be a GP hamburger ever again?
GP hamburger.
Well, so the real question is, do you think there will be a GP in Germany again because of the gambling laws that they have there?
Don't think so.
Yeah, I don't. I remember the last one that they had.
The chance that any GP, like, the chance that GPs in general will be lowered. You know?
I agree. Especially Hamburg or Germany, because I remember the last one they ran, they actually had to end up giving out like Xboxes and like Best Buy gift certificates. You know the event I'm talking about.
And a friend of mine still has one of the prizes because a friend of him won the GP, and he like for some reason he gave him the prize, or he sold him the prize afterwards.
All right, this one is for. Oh shoot! How do I check who's in the rewards queue? One sec. Rewards queue. Wait, is Otter Lady from Germany? I think they are. I think they mentioned that sometimes.
It's a German name, kind of.
Really? How would you pronounce it?
Well, Otter is Otter the same word in English than in German?
It's the animal?
Yeah, I think.
I see.
I don't know if it's the same word. So maybe it's not a German name, so I don't know.
I'm trying to find the queue for these things. Why is it so hard? You missed North Market? Yeah. North Market was pretty good. That was definitely one of the better places to go. Columbus, Ohio, for those of you who ask. I don't play League. I haven't played a MOBA since like 2005, and I don't think I will.
I play League, but not super much recently.
Where is this thing? I'm trying to find Alright, whatever. I'll just open a few more chests and assume that's my duty. What the heck is this? Is this worth anything?
I mean, you can look at or does MTG bot work or
MTG bot doesn't have prices on a lot of those cards. Okay,
what's it called?
Okay,
Courser.
Alright, well, we'll try to sell that afterwards.
Huh.
200 ticks card? I don't believe you.
Nah.
That is definitely a troll happening.
It's more like 2 tickets.
Oh, nice. So this card is bugged because you can only pick 255.
Yeah, this card is the same as the
Yeah,
new wheel.
yeah.
It makes me sad because I wanted to build the life gain deck with the wheel.
These are really not very valuable.
Psychic Possession. What does the right card do? Skip your draw step, enchant the opponent draws a card you made. So it's essentially a bad Notion Thief.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, when Notion Thief was printed, people just pointed to this card and they are like, what the hell happened? Like, literally, that's what happened.
Oh, really? Okay.
This card was, okay, the way I remember this card is everyone wanted it to be great and constructed because it's like, oh, it kills Delver. Then you realize what actually happened was it just got Vapor Snagged a lot because it costs 3 mana.
I have seen it in Standard, but it didn't last very long, I think.
It wasn't very good, I think, is the actual problem. Oh, okay. I'm going to tell a story about this card. This card is like my favorite card from this block constructed format, even though it actually wasn't very good. Because in the blue control mirrors, what would happen is you would just suspend this for like 4, and then your opponent would lose. But then what people actually realized was it was better to suspend Dreadhorde for 4, and then your opponents also couldn't win because they didn't have any lands. Do people know what Dreadhorde is, I guess, is the question. Let's see if I can spell it. First try. I might not be able to. Yes, I got it first try.
Yeah. This card would be kind of sweet sometimes.
So the reason, and this might sound funny, is what actually happened in that format was there were a ton of good utility lands. People would play Urborg, Urza's Factory, Tolariolus to transmute for Urborg, or packs like Slaughter Pact, Pact of Negation.
Oh, I see.
It's like Aberrant Wizard or something like that, Jax, or Perfection of Dawson of Perfection or something like that. Yeah, storage lands too. So, and reason people played so many Urborgs was because you'd play Tendrils of Corruption as your primary removal spell because it gained you like 7 life when you cast it. That one was really good, I think.
Yeah,
it's been a long time.
That, but it sounds quite interesting with the suspend cards.
Deadbridge Chant. Not very good.
Oh.
Alright, I think we're going to open one more chest. You ready for this? You ready for a good one, Said?
Of course. Let's open a court. What's that? Huh. Not that great. Not that great.
So
well, I guess with this card you can...
So a few people put this card on the map during that PTQ season. One was V, because he was obsessed with that, Rafik of the Many. And another was Tommy Ash and A.K. Sanderson on MTG won a PTQ with this card in his deck. With the blue-green Mimic in his deck, too.
What?
It was just a Bant aggro deck.
Did they play Rafik?
I think he did, because Rafik into this is obviously just like an obscene combination,
yeah,
right?
You just kill, basically.
It's
your opponent has to jump block, probably.
And then later, people printed Sovereigns of Vasalara and Eldrazi Conscription.
Oh, that combo, yeah, I remember.
I mean, really, the answer was green acceleration into some big threat has always been good in a lot of formats, regardless of what the format actually looks like, right?
Yeah, the power of green, mana fix, and ramp. Nowadays, green doesn't only have mana fix and ram. Now they have Oko and Uro.
Well, all of these cards are banned, so now I think green and standard is fine.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
ranting again.
I think the format's actually balanced, but I'm not. I don't think people say it's very fun, which is kind of the drawback, right? Wait, I have 2 patient rebonus on my account? I must have opened another second one in a pack. Alright. I'm gonna see if someone else is streaming Legacy. I think Ced and I have been here a while, and I think it's about time to call it. It's also getting late for you. No, it's not. It's not even that late.
It's not even...
Oh!
It's not even 9 p.m. yet.
Okay, you know who we have to raid? You know who's on? The man himself, the Jund aficionado, the Walkie. We gotta raid the Jabberwocky with a big raid.
Let's host Logan. I think that's good.
Yeah, I love Logan. I told Logan not to play Jund in the mocks, and he did it anyways, and I'm like, alright,
He's like the true Jund warrior.
Him and Reed. Anyways, raid, stay to watch Logan, and thanks for being here, y'all.